a bird that makes art, a reptile that sets traps, a fish-hunting heron that invented angling before humans even picked up a rod. We have spent thousands of years believing we are the only species smart enough to use tools. Turns out, nature has been laughing at us the whole time. These 18 animals are not just surviving, they are thinking, they are planning, and some of them have ancient tool traditions that make our own history look young. Number 1 alone will break your brain. Let's go. Number 1, the Bowerbird. We are starting with the most creative animal on this entire list, and it is not even using tools to survive. The Bowerbird of Australia collects shiny objects, bottle caps, pieces of glass, colorful stones, anything it can find, and arranges them into an elaborate, beautifully decorated nest purely to attract a mate. It spends days, sometimes weeks, selecting only the finest items. It is not just using tools, it is making art, it is designing, and if that is not uncomfortably human, nothing on this list will be. Number 2, the alligator. Yes, a reptile with a brain the size of a walnut uses tools. During nesting season, when birds are searching for sticks to build their nests, alligators balance sticks on top of their heads, sink beneath the surface, and wait. The birds swoop down for the sticks and the alligator strikes. It understood what the birds needed, positioned itself accordingly, and used the sticks as bait. That is not instinct, that is a trap. Number 3, the bearded vulture. This bird has turned physics into a hunting strategy. When it finds a large bone with rich marrow locked inside, it does not try to crack it with its beak. Instead, it picks the bone up, flies to a great height, and drops it onto rocks below, shattering it perfectly to access the nutritious meal inside. It has figured out gravity, it has figured out angles, it is doing applied science with wings. Number 4, the woodpecker, Finch. Native to the Galapagos Islands, this small bird does something that stopped Darwin's descendants in their tracks. It picks up a cactus spine or a thin twig, holds it in its beak, and uses it to pry insects out of tree bark. It selects the right spine for the right hole. It modifies the tool if it does not fit. This is a tiny bird doing what a surgeon does, choosing the right instrument for the right job. Number 5, the green heron. Most birds just wait for fish to swim close enough to catch. The green heron does not wait. It actively drops bait, bread crusts, insects, small feathers into the water, watches a fish rise to investigate, and then strikes. It is fishing with bait. It invented angling before humans ever picked up a rod. Number 6, the Egyptian vulture. This bird faces a specific problem. Ostrich eggs are one of the most nutritious meals in the savannah, but the shells are nearly impenetrable. So the Egyptian vulture searches for the perfect-sized stone, picks it up in its beak, and hammers it repeatedly against the egg until the shell cracks open. What makes this extraordinary is that young vultures raised in captivity with no one to teach them still attempt this behavior. It may be written into their DNA. Number 7, the Japanese macaque. Known as snow monkeys, these primates wash their food before eating it, rolling it against rocks to clean off dirt. They use stones to crack open nuts. They are so methodical about their tool selection that researchers have watched them test multiple rocks before settling on the right one. Somewhere in ancient Japan, one macaque figured this out, and the behavior spread through the entire community. Culture, passed down through generations, just like ours. Number 8, the gorilla. Gorillas are the quietest genius on this list. A wild gorilla named Leah made global headlines when she was photographed using a tall branch as a walking stick to test the depth of a swampy pool before crossing it. Other gorillas have been seen using tree trunks as bridges across deep patches of marsh. They are not just strong, they are engineers solving structural problems with the materials around them. Number 9, the rook. Ravens get all the fame, but the rook deserves its moment. In laboratory tests, rooks were given a tube of water with a floating treat just out of reach. Without any training, they dropped stones into the tube, raised the water level, and retrieved the treat. This is the exact puzzle described in one of Aesop's fables. The rook solved it without reading the story. Number 10, the Goffin's cockatoo. This bird was given a box locked with 5 different mechanisms in sequence: a bolt, a screw, a pin, a wheel, and a latch. One cockatoo named Figaro figured out the entire sequence on his own, tool by tool. He then fashioned his own tools from wooden splinters to reach rewards he could not access any other way. A bird, inventing tools from scratch, in real time. Number 11. The Capuchin monkey. Capuchins are the engineers of the monkey world. They select stones specifically based on weight and hardness, then use them to crack open the toughest nuts in the forest. They have been doing this for so long that archaeologists have found Capuchin stone tool sites in Brazil dating back hundreds of years. They have an ancient tool tradition, a Stone Age culture, running quietly alongside ours this whole time. Number 12. The sea otter. The sea otter is possibly the most charming tool user on the planet. It floats on its back, places a flat rock on its belly as an anvil, and smashes shellfish against it to crack them open. Some otters become so attached to their favorite rocks that they tuck them under their arms while diving and carry them from meal to meal. They have a favorite tool, they keep it. That level of object attachment was once considered uniquely human. Number 13. The crow. New Caledonian. Crows do not just use tools, they manufacture them. They trim twigs with their beaks, bend wires into hooks, and craft instruments precisely shaped for the specific task they need to perform. In experiments, they have used a short tool to retrieve a longer tool in order to then retrieve food. A tool to get a tool. That is called meta-tool use, and almost nothing else on Earth does it. Number 14. The orangutan. Deep in the rainforests of Sumatra, orangutans have developed a behavior that left scientists speechless. They fashion leaves into improvised whistles and blow through them to produce alarm calls that warn off predators. This is the first documented case of any non-human animal using a tool to communicate, not to eat, not to fight, to talk, and they teach it to their young, passing it through generations like language. Number 15. The bottlenose dolphin. In Shark Bay, Australia, female bottlenose dolphins tear off marine sponges and wear them over their snouts like protective gloves while foraging along the rocky seafloor. This protects their sensitive noses from sharp coral and debris. The behavior is passed almost exclusively from mothers to daughters and has been running as a continuous cultural tradition for generations. A dolphin teaching her daughter a skill. If that does not sound familiar, nothing will. Number 16. The elephant. Elephants have been observed dropping logs on electric fences to short them out. They plug water holes with chewed bark to stop other animals from drinking them dry. They use branches as fly swatters, carefully trimming them to the right length for the best reach. They comfort grieving herd members with gentle touches using their trunks, the way a human might reach for a loved one's hand. Their tool use is not just physical, it is emotional. Number 17. The octopus. The octopus is the most alien intelligence on this list. It shares almost no evolutionary history with primates, birds, or even most sea creatures. And yet the veined octopus collects discarded coconut shell halves from the ocean floor, stacks them neatly, tucks inside them, and carries the whole structure across the seafloor for future use. It is collecting building materials. It is planning for a shelter it does not need yet. In an animal with no bones, no family structure, and a lifespan of barely 2 years, that level of foresight is nothing short of breathtaking. Number 18. The chimpanzee. In 1960, a young scientist named Jane Goodall watched a chimpanzee carefully strip the leaves from a twig and push it into a termite mound to fish out insects. She radioed her findings to her mentor, the legendary Louis Leakey. His response became one of the most famous lines in scientific history. He wrote back and said that we must now redefine tool, redefine man, or accept chimpanzees as humans. Chimpanzees craft spears to hunt. They use stone hammers with wooden anvils to crack nuts, a tradition in West Africa that archaeologists have now traced back 4,300 years. They teach their young everything they know. Their tool traditions vary from community to community, like regional cultures, like dialects, like civilizations in miniature, quietly running through the forests of Africa while we built our cities and wrote our histories and told ourselves we were alone. We were never alone. If this changed the way you see the world, smash that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments which animal shocked you the most. I will see you in the next one.